Hi, I'm Nicole Roberts-Jones, and welcome to The Fierce Files. Now, what I know for sure is that one of life's greatest gifts will meet you when you go after your more. And so here is why I share with you thought-provoking insight and behind-the-curtain conversations with women who have reached the pinnacle of success because they went after their more. Now, I really want you to get this. One idea from these episodes can make a remarkable difference, not just in your career, but in your life. And I want to make sure you join the conversation in our Facebook group. So go to findyourfiercemovement.com. Now grab your pen and get ready for today's session of The Fierce Files.
So today I'm excited. Well, you know I'm going to be excited every day, but I'm really thrilled to introduce to you a woman that I could call sister. She is Sonia Jackson Myles. Now, Sonia is the founder, president, and CEO of the Sister Accord. Now, she has 3 areas of focus in her business. One is educating girls and women. The other is enlightening girls and women of the power of sisterhood. And number 3 is eradicating bullying and violence against girls and women. Now, before even launching Sister Accord, and by the way, if you know me, like I think you guys know me, you know anything that has to do with sister, any kind of accord, is totally up my alley, right? But before she even said yes to this big vision for women, she was an executive in corporate America with over 20 years of experience. So she's worked with Ford, with Gillette, with Procter & Gamble, and literally, just so you understand how big this power player is, her corporate role at just P&G alone, right? She managed over $6 billion in spending. So I want you to buckle your seatbelt. I want you to get out your pen and get ready for the nuggets she's about to drop. Please help me welcome Miss Sonia Jackson Myles. Hey, lady.
Hello. How are you, sister?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm just so honored to be here with you today. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to have you. Now, the thing I think, I can't even get that out, the thing I think is so just phenomenal about you is that you already had such a big role. You were already playing big, and yet you knew there was more for you. So tell us, really why did you say yes to this moment, to shift everything and move into Sister Accord?
Wow, it's one thing to be successful, at whatever it is that you're doing. But it's another thing to know that you're operating in the thing that you were created to do. And there's a level of contentment, joy, fulfillment that is, you can't even articulate it, sister, when you are operating in purpose. And so while I was successful and had all of the trappings of what it means to be an executive in corporate America, I knew that what was really important for me was to make sure that I was serving using my gifts and my talents in a different way. And for women and girls all around the world who were depending on me to get my act together to really walk in it. And that is what really propelled me to then say, I've got to make some tough, courageous decisions. I've got to be brave. And really move forward in bringing this dream and vision to life, because I was so pained by what I was seeing in corporate America and how girls and how women were treating each other.
I love how you just said there were women and girls depending on me. I love that, because so many people, I love everything you said. First of all, contentment, joy, fulfillment happens when you operate in your purpose. That right there is enough for us to hang up and be done, right? But then after you said that, you said you knew women and girls were depending on you. And let me tell you, those of you that are listening in, I want you to get this. Each of you has a group of people depending on you. Each of us. All of us. Nobody is more special than the rest. We all come to this earth with a calling, and I love how you really lasered in on that. So tell me, when you had that defining moment, well, first of all, when did you know, that that it was just time to say, you know what, this this $1 billion industry that I'm handling is great, but there's more. Yeah. When was that defining moment? Tell us about what that was like.
Well, God speaks to me in my dreams. And so I tried to run, sister. I tried to run. And he was just cornering me and laid me out, And so I was on a business trip. And I remember it so vividly. I woke up about 3 a.m, LA time, which would have been 6 a.m. at home. And heard this voice so clearly. And God said, you care more about the billion-dollar brands of P&G than the billion-dollar brand I've given you that you've done nothing with.
Ooh. Wait, we got to just stop right there. Wait, before you go further. Because that right there, oh, my gosh, she's dropping nuggets. So listen. And I just said this to a client a few minutes ago that I was talking to before you. We were walking around thinking we're a Toyota when God made us into a Bentley. And we're functioning like we're Toyota. Now, nothing's wrong with Toyota. Those of you that haven't, there's nothing wrong with a Toyota.
Right. That's right.
But here's the difference between a Toyota and a Bentley. You will find a commercial on any given day, Toyota on TV, giving its discount, its latest promotion. Yeah. I have never in my life seen a Bentley commercial. That Bentley never goes on discount, ever.
No.
And I love that you said that God said you were literally running $1 billion company when God had already put $1 billion gift in you. That is so good. Okay, I just had to stop.
And so I said, what? I said, what is that? So I sat straight up in the bed. I keep my journal right next to me so that I can write the things that I see. And, I decided that it was time for me to get serious because I had seen the Sister Accord in a dream. I was asked to speak at an inaugural event for President Obama's first inauguration on Capitol Hill. And went to sleep one night and saw the Sister Accord. So all of this had come to me in a dream. So I knew where it had come from. But I was scared. I was so afraid because what I knew was that corporate environment. I knew how I had figured out how to thrive in it, how to survive in it. And so that is what I thought I needed to stay focused on in helping and serving there. But God had such a bigger plan for me. And while I was praying, enlarge my territory and reading the prayer of Jabez and all these things, when it came time to do it, sister, I got scared.
Right.
And I didn't want to go. And he kept saying, but you've got to go. You've got to trust me fully. And, when I finally decided that I needed to move was when I came back from that trip. And I decided to put a website together. Now, I had never put a website together in my life.
Right.
So everyone, I would always tease and say, yes, it was mammy made, but it was good.
Right.
It got everything.
It was what you needed in that moment. That's all you needed, right?
That's all I needed. So see, I have so many people that I work with, and they think that they have to have all these funds, and it has to be so perfect. No. People around the world were being touched and transformed in their thinking about their relationships with my little simple website that I had put together because it was saying exactly what God had given me. And so you don't need, just to start, you don't need all of that. And then when I had made money and I was able to reinvest in my business, then I was able to put together a website that really, went to another level, right? But at the core and the very essence of what I was doing, I was able to tell that, with my first website. And that's what I did. I came home from that trip and I put the website together and began to really understand the power of what was happening while I was focused on my corporate role. People's lives were being transformed and I didn't even know it.
And it sounds like you started this alongside. So it's not like you just woke up one morning, had this revelation and said, okay, I'm giving my 2 weeks notice.
No.
You started to build this brand alongside it. Go ahead.
Exactly. Yeah. But see, I didn't really do anything. After I presented the Sister Accord on Capitol Hill, one of my dear sisters, Mickey Taylor from Essence Magazine, was in the audience and she said, Sister, there was a shift in the universe when you presented the Sister Accord on Capitol Hill. Did you feel it? And I said, huh? What are you talking about, shift in the universe? And this is why I say so often to be mindful of the people you are spending time around. Because a real true sister will speak life into your dreams, even when you can't see it. See, I couldn't see it because I was scared. I was just doing what I thought I needed to do for that event. But she really she planted the seed that said that this was something much bigger than even I thought that it would be. And so I didn't do anything. I sat on the sister court for many years because I was afraid, and I was just focused on my, corporate job. But she's the one who really began to say to me and other people at that event, we really need this. That this is something major. So you've got to do something with it. But I was just too afraid.
And I love that, the whole conversation, because so many people think, well, there's two things that what you just said reminded me of. First of all, and I want to make sure you guys are getting this, I'm always going to repeat what our power players are saying. So number one, you want to make sure you have people around you that are speaking life into your dream. I always say there's two kind of people you can have around you. They either deposit or withdraw. Now, all of you, we all have bank accounts. And, if you keep withdrawing, and you never make a deposit, you know what that ends up happening. And so imagine all the people that you have around you. If they just keep showing up and withdrawing, you then are operating in deficit. And I'm not just talking about financial deficit. I'm talking about spiritual deficit. When you just feel like you're exhausted and you can't do anything anymore, you are in spiritual deficit. So you've got to be very mindful of the people that are around you. That was one nugget. But she said this other one so many times, and I've got to bring it up for conversation here, that you were afraid. And what I hear so many entrepreneurs say, well, or shows up, that fear. And you can do one of two things with fear. You can face everything and run, or you can face everything and rise. So it sounded like at the beginning you were running, but then one day you stopped and realized, I can't run anymore.
That's right.
So what happened in that moment where you said, okay, I can't run from this anymore. I really got to do something?
Well, I was having some back problems. And I was literally, just in so much pain. Just, it was terrible. And, the doctors saying, oh, let's try this and let's try that. And I tried this procedure. It's an epidural. It's basically the same kind of procedure you get when you're, having a baby. And it almost killed me because the medicine was not leaving my body. So it was like building up, toxic levels. And I was so sick. And I'm thinking, what is this? What's going on with me? And it gave me the opportunity, because I was just laying on my back, couldn't move, in pain. And it gave me the opportunity to really seek God's face. And I said, what would you have me to do? I just want to serve you. Here I am. Use me. And once I regained my strength, and while I was laying there, I said, now, if you show me a way where I can have 6 months salary saved, if you show me how I can do it. So I started negotiating with God while I was laying there. And, if you just show me how I can do this, then, I'll do it. And he kept saying, okay. But, it was like God was saying, I'm waiting for you, but pretty soon I'm going to have to give this gift to someone else, because my word is true, and my people have to be served. So if it's not you, I thought it was you. I was calling you, but, if you're not going to do it, I'm going to have to give this gift to someone else. And so, I said, okay, I'm going to really pursue how I can put together a plan to move forward. And I was praying one day and doing my prayer meditation, and the Holy Spirit said, check your stock options. And I said, I never check my stock options. Why would I do that? They've just been sitting there. And when I looked at it, clearly the account had much more than 6 months.
Right.
Salary. And I knew that it was time for me to make good on the deal that I called myself making with God. So I, had some funds set aside, and I said, for once I'm going to bet on me. But it wasn't until I faced a major fear that I had in my life, and it was a phobia of dogs, that I was able to really shake all of the other fear that I had, i.e. leaving the corporate job. And so I bought a dog and went through the process and journey of facing my fear around this phobia. And it unleashed a power in me, sister, that I can't even describe to you. And that gave me the courage to really move forward in bringing my dream to life.
I love that.
We're going to stop here and take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back for more. Have you realized that you've been building someone else's billion-dollar brand, and there's a billion-dollar brand in you? And I wonder if you even know that you can begin your business now without letting go of your paycheck. And see, that's why I wrote my free ebook alongside my 9-to-5. So go grab your copy at alongsidemy9to5.com. By the way, that's the number 9 and the number 5, alongsidemy9to5.com. See, most people tell you to quit to begin your business, and what I know for sure is that's setting you up for failure. Why? Because even if you've saved a year's salary, you got to spend money to make money. And so the wisest choice you can ever make is to begin to build your business alongside that 9-to-5. Listen, I created the ebook alongside my 9to5.com to give you all the insight you need to start and plan your business with grace and ease. Because who wants to hustle? See, I want to teach you how to make money while you sleep. Yes, you can generate income while you're sitting in your office, even while you're conducting a meeting. See, you can be doing all of that, and your business can and will generate revenue for you. So go grab your copy alongside your 9to5.com.
The thing that I will say that I've learned in my own journey around fear is fear really is, I call it faith in reverse. So your faith doesn't really get activated until you're in the face of fear. And so many of us, me included, because girl, I've been there too, where I was like, okay, Laura, are you sure? I think you calling on the other Nicole. You keep calling me, but it's the wrong one, right? I kept thinking God had the wrong phone number, as if that's possible.
Yeah.
But here's what I've learned is when God is asking, when you're praying, you know, my prayer every morning to this day is exceedingly above all that I could ever ask or think. Lord, I'm asking you to show me that so that I can serve more, do more, be more of who you called me to be. And when God gives you exceedingly abundantly above all that you could ask or think, it means it's going to be scary because you never thought you could play that big.
That's right.
You never even fathomed what was possible, right? So I live now in fear. And when it's scary, I know that that's how, when God plays his biggest. And here's why I want to bring this up. Many of you listening are sitting in your comfort zone. You want this thing that you greatly desire. I know for sure many of you signed up, not many of you all, because I know there's no accident, right? That you all signed up for the Slay Summit because you know it's time for your more. If you're going to move into bigger and better, you will have to do it in the face of fear. And
that's right, sister.
I love how you said you bought a dog, you faced your biggest fear, and really took it head on. And how that shifted what was possible for you. So now in the newness of it's not like you're fearless. There's no such thing as being fearless. It's being fearful. I always say I'm fearful and fearfully made, right? Because
that's
that faith can really, really do its greatest work. So in that, and as you saw yourself shift, tell us, how did you begin to say yes more? What did that begin to look like in your business and your life?
Well, my relationship with God deepened in ways that, I hadn't ever experienced before. Because for once, I'm a recovering workaholic and perfectionist.
Me too, girl. Right.
Where everything has to be so perfect and everything has to be in the box and it has to look like this. And God said, you're really not in control, right? You just think you are. And so once I went on this journey and this path of really understanding what it was going to take to bring the dream to life, my belief kicked in. See, I had unbelief. Even though I was waving my hands in church and hallelujah this and hallelujah that, I was still allowing my unbelief to control me. How could I... When you really think about it, let's just sit for a second here and think about this. When you really think about all that God has done for us individually, even that through the highs and the lows and the good and the bad and the ugly, all the things that he has done for us, how would I get to the place of believing that he was going to leave me in the midst of bringing this amazing dream to life? Right? So, that wasn't even logical. It wasn't even logical. And so what happened for me was a level of faith and a walk that then determined how I was going to live my life. once I purged the burdens that were associated with the fear, then I was able to soar in my thinking because my mindset had shifted. Once that happened, I was able to be creative to get to more, okay, to get to that abundance.
That's good.
I was able to see things that I couldn't even see before in the natural, simply because I went to another level in my belief.
That's good.
And it allowed me to shake stuff off that I did not need, that I could not use to go to my next level of excellence. And that is what's so incredible, because now that I'm here and all these amazing things are happening, I'm like, what was I doing?
Right. And sometimes, right. And sometimes I marvel at, how did I get here? Because we're so in it, right? And I have to stop and say, and by the way, you guys, as we're sharing, I hope you're in islaytoday.com and you are posting your nuggets, because as soon as we're done, I'm not one of those people that could be hosting and talking, and some people can be replying to you on Facebook at the same time. I can't do that. So I'll be in Facebook after we're done. I need to be in listening like the rest of you, because I'm writing notes myself. But here is the thing. I love that you said you noticed and witnessed your mindset shift. And that's the difference. So many people, and I hear people saying they're praying, they're waiting on God, and God is waiting on you.
Yeah.
And what happens is when you begin to step up and say, I don't see how this is going to happen, but I trust you, and you begin to do the work and believe, even though you can't see it. First of all, there's a Bible verse that says, faith is a substance of things that hope for, the evidence of things not seen. So you won't see it. Yeah. You're not going to see it up front. You got to believe it before you can see it. And so even believing it before you see it is a mindset shift. It makes me think of The Pursuit of Happiness and all the things that, I can't think of the main character's name right now, but all the things he went through, he stayed in it. It didn't look like it was going to happen. It didn't look like he was ever going to get a job. It didn't look like he was going to get out of homelessness. But that brother went from homeless to a millionaire because he stayed in it. So my question to each of you listening is, what could happen in your life when, number one, you realize you have everything you need already in you, and number two, you begin to do it afraid, whatever it is for you. That's that's good. So listen, we could keep going, but I want to make sure we get this from you. So from everything you shared, tell us 3 steps that you took to get from where you were to where you are now. If you had to give 3 steps that really were fundamental to this shift that happened for you, what would they be?
The first was to purge the things that were the burdens that were weighing me down. You know, anything that was not of God, anything that wasn't speaking life into the dream, I had to shake it. I had to purge it. And then I'd say the next thing was prepare. Because God has some good old stuff just awaiting. But I had to prepare appropriately to be able to receive it. I had to make sure that I had my curriculums for Sister Core Leadership Development Program. If the school system called, I had to be ready. Well, you can't be ready if you haven't prepared.
Right.
So making sure that I was ready to take my organization to another level by having my curriculum prepared, by making sure that the things that I wanted to do inside of corporations with women to help them understand what the Sister Accord really meant, and that sisterhood in the workplace was really a benefit. I had to prepare all of that. I just had to sit still, be quiet, and get the work done. So purge was the first, prepare, and then, propel. So, for me, it was about moving quickly, right? Because oftentimes we will stall, we will get in the do loop of our mind and being afraid, and then it's over and over and over again, and before you know it, you haven't moved forward. And so I needed to really move forward with a sense of urgency so that I could serve the people who had been waiting for me. Because you got to remember, I was wasting a lot of time.
Right.
I have been sitting on this for many years, and it wasn't as evident until I had this young lady who came to my very first tea party, and she said, Miss Myles, you have no idea what you've done for me. And I'm thinking, oh, really? What is it? And Amber began to share that she suffered from an anxiety disorder that plagued her all of her life. But it wasn't until she came to a Sister Accord event, my very first one, by the way, so you got to remember, I was scared. I was doing it scared.
Right.
But here in Cincinnati, very first tea party, this young lady comes, says she's never felt so safe in a room filled with females, with girls and women in her life. And she said that she said, we tried psychology, psychiatry, medicine. We tried everything. But it wasn't until I came to a Sister Accord event and really understood the power of loving myself and how to have healthy relationships with other women was I able to overcome this. Now Amber is in college. So you see, Amber was waiting for me. So that's why we must move with a sense of urgency and with swiftness so that we can serve the people we're called to serve. Because, see, the Sister Accord and my dreams, they're not about me. They're about the people that I've been called to serve. And so I would say purge, prepare, and then propel were the three things that were really important for me so that I could move to my next level of excellence, in bringing my dreams to life.
That's good. Now, here's what I want you guys to get. I want you to think about where each of you are in your business. Which of those three areas are you in right now? Are you in purge, where you need to let go of some things that are holding you back, whether it's mindset, whether it's people, whether it's items on your agenda? Whatever that is, what is it that you need to purge? Second, what do you need to do to prepare? Now, here's the thing I love that Sonia talked about, that she knew she had to write her curriculum. But also, all the things she had done until that moment prepared her for that moment. So my question to you, and even for me, dare I say, I've been in this business for 24 years, and many of you know my story. For 17 years, I made $13,000. And my problem was I didn't sit in preparation. I just kept doing, but I wasn't prepared. So what do you need to do to prepare yourself for your next level? It took me hiring a coach in that moment. What does that look like for you? And everybody's different. So what Sonia needed is different than what I needed. What I needed is different than what you need. My question to you is, what is it that you need? And then the third is, how do you now start doing it now? Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It won't be perfect. This is Propel, by the way. It will never be perfect. It's not going to look like it's supposed to look like. And here's the thing. Sonia said Amber was waiting for her. Amber was waiting for her. It wasn't until she purged, prepared, and propelled that she met Amber. And there's thousands of Ambers out there for her, just like there's thousands of Ambers out there for each of you. And every day that you stand still and you don't activate that gift in you, you're late for work. You're late becoming the woman that God has called you to be. I want you to just for a moment just think about all the women, the men, the families, whatever it is you do that are waiting for you, that need that gift in you, that need you to purge, prepare, and propel. And so for those of you that are saying, yes, this is the place I'm in and I'm ready for my more, before I wrap with Sonia, I want to invite you. Now listen, the reason I'm doing this Slay Summit is because these women, each of these women I handpicked because I know they each have gems to share with you. And they're going to give you great insight like Sonia just did, and great motivation and great insight into all that's possible. But my question to you is, how will you activate that? For those of you that are saying, yes, I'm ready to activate my more, I want you to go into islaytoday.com. I want you to say, Nicole, I'm ready to activate my more. Nicole, I'm ready to purge, prepare, and propel. Matter of fact, I want you to go in there and tell us where you are in that continuum. Where are you? Are you in purge, prepare, or propel? And guess what? If you say you're doing all three, I'm going to say, okay, then you need to rinse and repeat. Because I know where I am right now is in preparation again. Because each new level, you got to go through it again. Purge, prepare, propel. So where are you? Where are you in that? Thank you so much, Sonia, for sharing all the great nuggets. You have given us so much to move forward in. Oh, my goodness. I'm getting ready to go write my notes over so I can understand my crazy handwriting tomorrow.
Well,
I appreciate you.
As I have shared with so many people that I work with, many of us are in a state of dream phobia, and we're just scared. And I know, because that was me, so I understand that. And it's time. It's past time. It's over. We're overdue, particularly in the environment that we live in today around the world, everyone needs to be on their game. Everyone needs to be operating in purpose.
Yes, everybody does. And so I look forward to continuing my conversation with you because you always give me yummy nuggets. Again, Sonia, thank you so much for everything you just shared.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's an honor to be with you. I am so proud of you. As you know, I just cheer you on from the sideline. I cover you in prayer. But I'm very honored that you would give me this opportunity to share my story with your network.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of The Fierce Files. Now, I want you to walk away from these episodes with value, so grab your pen and answer either one or all three of these questions. Number 1, what was your greatest takeaway? Number 2, what will you do differently as a result of what you heard? So you may have heard something you've already heard before, or you may have learned something new. Either way, don't take the insight that was shared with you for granted. So commit to doing one thing different because of what you heard. Number 3, what was confirmation for you? What did you hear that confirmed you're on the right path? See, I want you to take a moment and celebrate you. Too often in our journey, we focus on what we're not doing and we forget to celebrate what we are doing. So what was something that showed you that you're headed in the right direction? Now, I want you to share your answers. Share your answer to either number 1, what was your greatest takeaway? Number 2, what would you do different? Or number 3, what was confirmation for you? And share it in our Facebook community. So go to findyourfiercemovement.com and use the hashtag FierceFiles. Now, each experience we encourage, support, and celebrate as a community. It allows us to expand in possibility and wisdom, in encouragement and love. Now, we've invited you into our community to deepen our journey with being the answer someone needs and in being committed to your next level. So until the next time, be extraordinary, be unapologetic, be bodaciously you, go and be fierce.